Our family is aware that we're not what most people would imagine if they thought of a Syrian family. It kind of challenges their idea of who Syrians are and what they're like.
One of the things that Soufi's has really gone out of their way to do is to brand themselves, not as a Middle Eastern restaurant or a Mediterranean restaurant, but a Syrian restaurant. And putting their Syrian identity front and center and saying, you know, this is nothing to do with politics and conflict, this is about a culture.
I was running away from things back home in our country that I didn't like much. Because, you know, in Syria, the situation is so hard. In Saudi Arabia, even though we're there for 20 years, we're still strangers there. We have no rights. I was more ambitious to have better chance for my families. The decision came to come to Canada.
I was born in Damascus, Syria, and when I was about a year old, my family moved to Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. After I finished high school, I got accepted into U of T here in Toronto. I was 17, I was alone in this big city. It was a really big culture shock. When I tried my first shawarma here, it was nothing like the shawarma that you would have in Syria or even in Saudi. That sort of realization that there was something missing is what gave us the idea that we could actually do something together and open up a Syrian restaurant.
When we opened the restaurant and it was a Syrian cuisine, some people came just because we are Syrian, not because our food is good.
No, our food is...
I know our food is good, but they came because...
Not many people are familiar with what manaish is or what Kunafa is. Most people, when they think of Middle Eastern food, think falafel, think shawarma, think hummus. Manaish is essentially a flatbread. It's something that we would usually have for breakfast. So first thing in the morning, my granddad would come in with like 4 boxes of manaish and we'd all eat like 5 each. Manaish is topped with either cheese or za'atar, which is another classic, or other varieties of toppings like meats and pepper paste and spinach. It's so delicious and so fresh and so warm. It was something that really reminds us all of growing up in Syria.
Oh, good boy. Good boy, show.
My parents being new to the country and not really being able to work with their degrees and with their qualifications, given that their degrees are in Arabic and they studied in Syria. It was sort of difficult for them to start something here. The restaurant was an opportunity for us to do something together. My mom is the head chef. She came up with most of the recipes and she manages the kitchen downstairs. My brother is in charge of the front of house. He's the main barista. My dad is in charge of the finances and the accounting. And then myself, I've been focusing more on the marketing and creating marketing material.
She's doing amazing work. Again, she has the vision. The design of the restaurant is her. You know, the menu, the media, the marketing, we're lucky we have her.
In the beginning, we would spend over 18 hours of the day together. So just being around the same people who happen to be your family for a very long time is bound to create little problems.
You learn who has tempers, who doesn't.
Who has a temper?
I'm not gonna complain about my brother like he complained about me. Kunafa is a very popular Middle Eastern and Syrian dessert. What it is a phyllo pastry layered over melted cheese, served hot with an orange blossom sugar syrup. We get the pastry, we chop it up, and then we massage it in clarified butter or ghee. And once that's done, we start preparing the cheese, which is a mix of akawi and mozzarella. We also massage them together. And then the actual preparation of the kunafa is the layer of kunafa, and then a layer of cheese, and then another layer of kunafa. And then it's baked. Once it comes out of the oven hot, we pour the sugar syrup on top and then top it off with pistachios.
تغيرت كتير كتير. يعني أحياناً ممكن نشوف أماكن بحس إنه ما هي سوريا، دمرت يعني وكل شيء صار سيء.
It's still fresh. I remember one of the girls in the kitchen, the air shows that used to happen, they just freak her out because she comes from an area where airplanes have a very different meaning.
I decided that we mostly need the Syrian to be with us in the restaurant, and especially the refugees are coming.
When these newcomers first come, they're not really given much of an opportunity. There's a language barrier, and they do have skills, but they can't really be applied in Canada.
We can feel that we are doing something for the refugees. At the same time, we can use their expertise because they are really good.
At the end of the day, it's a win-win situation for both of us. And if anything, we need them more than they need us. Syrians are people. We're not just what they see in the news. We're more than that. And despite everything that's happening there, we are still a very vibrant culture.
Anytime that a culture is able to sort of sell its food and bring it out into a community, what they do is really sort of personalize and humanize the immigrant experience. Food is one of the easiest ways to create a cultural understanding because it requires nothing other than an appetite and an open mind.